When we're talking about the economy of Magic the Gathering Arena, a lot has changed. A lot of big changes have come around, mostly in the form of these golden packs right here. We're going to get into exactly how I would build out a collection. In the past, I have made many mistakes. As you can see, I started playing on the arena once again back in this time period. And I took a break from this from a long time, though I did play back in the day. But so much has changed with the economy. We are heading towards set completion with Dominaria United and with the Brothers War. How exactly did I do this? We used to be very limited on how we were going to do this, and most of it was coming through the idea of quick drafting in whatever set was available at the time. It's your best bang for the buck, and once you get about 15 or 20 drafts in, a lot of the rares that are going to be coming around would not really help you complete your collection, because if you're drafting for value, which we will get into, you would start to see diminishing returns, because you would see the same rares come back to you over and over again. Those are going to be the cards that are not great in limited play, but may or may not be good in standard play. So I was drafting, and I would draft 15 or 20 times for the rares, and then I would focus on building up my gems by trying to go into drafts and win so that I can make an infinite loop. But we don't have to do that anymore. There is another way, and we are going to talk about that right now. Okay, so I'm pretending I'm going to be starting this account from scratch. What would I do? Well, first off, you get these nice little dailies here. These little dailies down along the bottom, and we're going to hopefully get real lucky here. A little bit of RNG for this video, but we're going to try to get lucky, because what we are going to do is we are going to start collecting coins. That's right. Coins, gold, is going to get you your basic starting economy. And there are two different coin values that you get on your dailies. There are 500 coin dailies that you can do. As you can see here, you get, if you cast 20 red or green spells, you will get 500 gold. And that's pretty good, but, and again, RNG. Look at that. The RNG guys are with us today. If you re-roll that, which we just did, you could probably get a 750 coin daily to do. And this one is casting blue or red spells. Very easy to do. Just play for a few rounds, even if you are not winning these rounds. If you are just casting spells, you will get your daily done. And that's because Magic the Gathering Arena, Wizards of the Coast, want to reward people for attendance, for playing, because what would a card game be without players? Therefore, you get this benefit right here of 750 coins. And if you win your first round, you could get another 250 coins. If you are brand new to the game, this is going to be enough for one of two different things, and we will talk about each of those options. Option one is going into the jump in event and collecting cards from here. And we will jump into one and take a look at this. You are going to be given 2 sets in each of these jump in events. I will link down in the description where you can find all the rares that you could get, where you can see all the commons and uncommons you could get. But if you don't have anything in your collection, this is pretty good bang for your buck. As you can see, we're going to jump into this, and what it's going to do is it's going to give you an option of one of these two things. As you already saw, we are mostly complete on this account for these sets in particular, so there's not really much I'm looking to get here. I just wanted to kind of demonstrate for you guys. But let's say that we take this spellcraft. Yep, and I will link in the description, again, what rares you're going to get in these sets, what cards you're going to get in these sets. But for science sake, let's go ahead and choose spellcraft. And then we're going to choose, what I would do is I would choose from the most new set as you can. And that's going to be right here with Streets of New Capenna. We're getting the sacrifice guy, and we're going in like this. And as you can see, we get a full deck. You get to keep all of these cards, and you get a mythic actually with the sacrifice one with Obnixilis the Adversary. Useful card. I like this card. I think it's good. The other rare we get is, and I say from absolute memory, oh boy, the Mana Form Hellkite. You get these added to your collection as well as all of these commons and uncommons that are just going to fill you out a little bit, give you more options whenever we're building decks, give you a couple of things that we could actually use most of the time. Thermo Alchemist does find its way into some decks, even in ranked play. The real message of the story is you get some useful things. You can start to build out your collection with this. Would I say go in and get the reward? It is just one uncommon if you win one game in Jump In. Well, that really depends. If you're brand new to Magic, this is probably worth it. And if you're just trying to build your collection, there are better ways that we could be spending our time. From what I've played in Jump In, there are, oh my God, it's grueling. A lot of very slow mechanics, but you're not familiar with your deck, your opponent isn't familiar with their deck, and you guys just kind of trudge to the ending. These games can take a long time, and chances are you're not going to draw. It's really RNG oriented, both on how well the two sets work together, as well as how well you draw in each of the matches, and how well your opponent draws as well. If you are going into these, it's kind of like a limited format in the fact that Planeswalkers are always super strong in these, and anything else just kind of gets trampled on. You want to get to your Planeswalker and play it if you get lucky enough to get maybe an Obnixilis or something like that, but I wouldn't be spending an obnoxious amount of coin in order to continue to do this. After you do it 15 times at the max, I'm going to max this out at 15 times, because whenever you go into these things, what's going to end up happening is each of the packs that we see from this event rotate. And once you've drafted through 10 or 15 times, then you're going to be seeing the same sets come back through, or you're going to be seeing things from Alchemy. And maybe you don't necessarily want to play in Alchemy. I know I certainly have zero interest in Alchemy altogether. So 10, 15 times, brand new to the game. If you're new to Magic the Gathering in general, or not familiar with what's happening in Standard right now, maybe it is worth to go in here and try to get one more win. But if not, then, I mean, nobody can see you here. You might as well just resign and move on. And we are building a little bit of momentum after getting those first 15 rounds in. At the end of that, you are going to get 2 either rare or mythic cards for each of the times that you join that event. It's very good value if you're brand new. It's very good value if you're trying to start to build out your collection, but it kind of becomes a stinker a little bit later on. The next thing we want to do, and there's a very specific reason for structuring it this way, is you want to come over here and draft a little bit, right? Whenever I first did an economy guide, I said always be drafting, especially quick drafts for the best value, and that would have held true until we will get to it. We will get to exactly what Wizards did in just a moment, but yeah, this is going to be very good value for you. You still kind of want to rare draft whenever you're going through these, but that's not nearly as important as collecting gems at this point in Magic the Gathering Arena. You want to be collecting these gems. You could say a standard ratio between gems and coins is going to be 1,000 gold coins are going to be worth about 200 gems. So if we're spending these 500 coins, we want to be at least trying to win go for a 500 win rate, right? 3 wins, you're getting 300 gems. You're going to be doing this with that rate 12 to 15 times in order to get up to 3,400 gems around about. That's where we want to be for the next portion of what we're going to be talking about, which is The Mastery Pass. Oh boy. Sometimes they're really good and other times they're kind of stinkers. I think this time we kind of got a stinker, but there's a lot of good value in just the standard Brothers War, or in the standard Mastery Pass. The standard Mastery Pass is going to reward you with coins. It is going to reward you with gems, 1,200 gems as a matter of fact, and it's going to reward you with all kinds of packs in this bottom row that are going to help you fill out your standard collection. These are not from the newest sets. The things you get from the free track is actually just from the newest set. Right now it is a Brothers War, and as you can see, this gets better as you play the game. The free track ends at 67, but the paid track, quote unquote, will let you get all the way up to level 80. Once you get to 81 and beyond, it is just gonna be one standard uncommon card, which is, at that point, I mean, as you can see, I'm on level 83 right here, and we're gonna probably go a little bit higher until we get into, what would you say, the next set. But, you know, I create content. I love Magic the Gathering, the Arena as well. I think it's the cheapest way to play Magic the Gathering. I really enjoyed playing this, and that's kind of why I made this channel. Was I enjoyed playing it, so I wanted to continue playing it, and wanted to share my thoughts with everybody. So you want to collect coins in order to get this Mastery Pass, right? As said, sometimes it is a stinker, but for 3,400 gems and you get 1,200 back, you're getting a pretty good value there regardless. You do get extra packs and this and that. Is it really worth it if you don't want cosmetics? Well, I would say that for this particular set, it probably isn't, unless you're actually hoping to go all the way up to level 80. That's a lot of Magic the Gathering. That is a lot of Magic the Gathering Arena in particular, right? Let alone if you're playing with friends and stuff. But I like cosmetics. I think they're cool. So I generally get the Mastery Pass if I'm planning on playing quite a bit. The true beauty of this Mastery Pass is that you don't have to buy it right away. If you get up to, you know, say level 70, let's go with level 70, and you know that you're going to be getting all the way up to these Gix, Yogg, Moth, Praetors, exquisite sleeves. It's a fancy sleeve. If you know you're going to get here, if you've gotten here already, and you then want to think about starting to get your gems together and stuff, you get reimbursed all of this stuff at once. And actually, there is a real strength to that we will talk about in a moment. But before that, what do we do once we hit 3,400 gems and have the Mastery Pass available, whether or not we're going to buy it? As said, you can max this thing out and then decide whether it's worth your time to actually buy it. If you guys want to see videos on the Mastery Pass, let me know in the comments below and we could do something around that as well. But now we know that we're drafting, we're collecting 3,400 gems. If you want to completely maximize on your economy, at that point, we're not going to be joining any more events over here. We are not going into any quick drafts unless you are a limited player. Limited players are basically going to play standard in order to get 5,000 coins, and then they're going to go into a draft, or 10,000 if they prefer premier drafts. Those players are not interested in building out their full collection. They just want to play in limited. But if you want to play in either historic or you want to play in standard, there is one more step that we have to do after we have stopped playing in the limited format, and that is buying packs. Oh my god, I cannot believe I just said that buying packs is actually good in Magic the Gathering anything, right? If you are a paper card player, you know the way to build your collection, to build your decks, is by buying singles. And unfortunately, in order to buy singles in the arena, we actually have to come over here and buy packs. So, I am going to take one for the team, and we're going to buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 packs. Complete collection. This is for you guys, but we're going to do it. As you could just see that as I purchased these, and I accidentally purchased 2 alchemy packs. We're actually going to see if there's different cards in there. I actually don't know. I've just completely ignored alchemy. But you get this gold pack. But we're going to open these. Now, these Brother War packs, all I am doing is looking for mythics at this point. But we're going to notice something. If we look up in the upper right-hand corner, we see 2 tracks. One of them is for commons and uncommons, and one of them is for rares and mythic cards. As we open these packs, the bar moves and we collect what we get on the side. As you open packs, you will notice that this wheel will continue to go around with each pack that we open. And hey, look at that, I got a mythic. It is my day in the arena. Might have to play some rounds as well. Yes, you will continue to move progress on here, and let's see if we get lucky one more time, and we do not. But this will alternate between rares and mythics. I believe it is 3 times going around for rare, and then 1 time going around for mythic. This is a way to build out your wildcard collection. That is going to help us move away from the RNG style of opening packs and move in towards actually getting wild cards. Now that we actually open up a rare wild card, we need to talk a little bit about ratios of opening these wild cards in packs, because as you are all well aware, you could get these wild cards in actual packs. So with the commons, with the uncommons, your ratio is about 30%. Getting a common or uncommon wild card. Now we do want to save these wild cards, and they are mostly used to build up budget decks, and usually whenever I get above 100 like I have now, I start to craft some historic stuff that I have passed up in the past. The ratio of the rares and mythics are a 1 in 30 chance. This gives us about a 3.5% chance of getting either a rare or a mythic wild card whenever we open these packs. Yes. And we will continue to open. And I'm actually just curious at this point what in the world we're going to be getting here. Ah, there are actually different cards in here. I should have bought these in the beginning. But let's move on to the gold pack. What do we get in a gold pack? Well, we get 5 mostly rares from current standard set, and then 1 mythic from the current standard set. These are duplicate protected, so you will not get duplicates of any of this stuff. You will get things that you have not already collected. What duplicate protection is once you have 4 of a rare or a mythic, you will not open another pack that has those in it, especially because you can pay real money to play Magic the Gathering Arena. They wanted to make sure people didn't feel like they were getting scammed, because if you open rares whenever you have your full collection, for the most part, you are only compensated 20 gems. So you get 5 rares and then 1 mythic. You are guaranteed a mythic. There is a chance to get another mythic in here, but I wouldn't bet the house on it. You're mostly getting rare. So as we open this, you will notice that I get a plethora of cards, a lot of it from the earlier stuff. We actually get a Mishra here, which is great for our collection, but all of this stuff is going to be in the current standard sets. This was guaranteed to be a mythic the entire time, but we also got a second mythic. We got lucky again. Man, I am going to the casino today. This is how we are building out our standard collection for the most part once we hit 3,400 gems while drafting. Why? Because the main holdup in Magic the Gathering Arena, unlike physical cards, is going to be your access to rare cards. Yes, because of the tight economy when it comes to rares and mythics, they have released gold packs in order to alleviate some of that bottlenecking there. A lot of these cards and physical cards are a quarter, 2 quarters. You could get them pretty easily, and they help you fill out your collection. They help you actually build decks. But in Arena, you're bottlenecked here. Even if they're terrible cards, you're still bottlenecked. You could open up bad cards for a long time. And yeah, that's it. These gold packs are fantastic ways to actually improve your decks over time. Yes, if you're first starting out, it's going to be hard to start getting these coins and stuff like that, because in the dailies, the first win is 250, 750 for another one. That's a pack a day. But if you are brand new and having trouble getting your daily wins, up to 4 is recommended. Up to 4. After that, the awards steeply fall off. But sometimes it is hard to get wins if you don't have a large collection already. If that is the case, stick with it. By the time the first rotation happens, you're going to have a much larger collection, because just trying to get these dailies done and start to build out your collection just a bit is going to help significantly. I do want to, however, touch on the fact that whenever we are building out our collection, we want to focus primarily on standard at first. As your economy gets deeper, you could start focusing on historic stuff, and a lot of this stuff has very recently rotated, and there's a big reason why I chose this deck to craft. It's because a lot of the stuff I already had, like the Innkeepers, the Trilasaras, the Dahlia, Guardian of Thraben. We already had the Elite Spellbinders as well. But it's because in Historic right now, this game has only been around since 2016, which means that there aren't a lot of sets out there. They're constantly adding to that list, but for now, this is a decent way to start. Play through a full year, get a bunch of cards, just collect. Then the next year, continue to play in standard, and then start to build some decks in Historic when you can afford to do so. And the more cards you collect, the easier the cards are to collect, because you will have a deeper economy. You could fall back onto a Historic deck that you had crafted or you have all the cards for, and you just need to get your daily wins. Just jump into Historic with something you already know how to play and try to kick some butt in there. That actually helps you whenever it comes to how quickly standard changes and how slowly Historic changes. If a deck works in Historic, then you probably don't need to worry too much about whether you're going to actually be able to compete. In Standard, however, every day it seems like we're hitting different things every day when it comes to the shift in metagame, because you do something and then people adjust to it very rapidly, and they're able to hit back and to get you in the next round. And that makes it to where you're probably busting more wildcards than need to be in Standard, but that is the grind of Magic the Gathering. I play a lot of Standard because I enjoy that competitiveness. I enjoy that shifting Standard. I enjoy playing different cards to try to move around where people are when it comes to the changing meta that's happening nearly weekly, it seems. Right? But if you want to just kick back, relax, get your daily wins, move on with your life, Historic is kind of where we want to be. But you do need to start building up a collection in Standard, because Standard is always changing. Remember, in September, we've got these 4 sets: Streets of New Capenna, Kamigawa, Innistrad, and Crimson Vow, all being shifted down into this Historic set down here, and the new cards will continue to be coming out. If you are building up a collection of these 4 sets, you're actually building a Historic set. So the economy of Arena may seem tight at first, but the gold packs really open up our opportunities. And yeah, save these. Let's talk about some honorable mentions for this video. First off, this right here. As you can see, my economy is a little bit broken. That is my fault. Why? Because I am like a kid in a candy store when it comes to cards. I am a bit of a completionist, and I just want to complete my full set on Magic the Gathering Arena, right? So, I am broke. My economy is a little bit busted, but you shouldn't do this. Oh, I'm going to tell you a couple of things that I don't do, but you should do, but I don't. So, do as I say, not as I do kind of deal, right? We are going to be saving these rares and mythics for one particular deck, right? And that is a kind of deck that you want to play on a regular basis. If you are a control mage, you are building Esper things. If you are a creature spam player, oh man, there's so many opportunities. Right now in standard, it's probably going to be soldiers, so be looking out for those soldiers. Either we're opening them in packs, or we are saving them for just these wild cards for just one big deck, and we're probably going into matches, and it's just RNG based what you want to be playing, what you're able to play until you actually bust these wild cards. But I would not bust them until you have a firm foundation on what you want to build, or if you are collecting in a specific color. Let's say that you are a mono black mage. You are a mono black player. You're crafting underdogs. You're crafting Lilianas. You're crafting graveyard trespassers. And of course, you can't forget, I gotta say it, Sheldred the Apocalypse. You're a black mage, and so you are streamlined down one line of play. You are going for your mono black. You're completing your black stuff before you move into other stuff. And on top of that, you're crafting other cards like Fable of the Mirror Breaker and Weatherlight Completed, Onicode Anvil, because those are good pieces for black to play with, right? Fable is just overall fantastic card, and etc, etc, etc. You are crafting things that work with either mono black or splashing in different colors depending on what your situation is. We're not crafting, if you want to play mono black, we're definitely not crafting pieces that work really well in a Selesnya build, for example. You're not crafting a Catilda. You're not crafting, like, maybe Sarah Paragon. Sarah Paragon is really good to splash with black, but you're not putting Restoration of Ijanjo into your deck. So I wouldn't worry about those things. Even if people on YouTube are saying to play them, and, you know, I'm a culprit. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, if you don't like playing these kinds of decks, don't craft these. Save your wild cards. If you, by RNG sheer luck, come up with a deck that is good in Selesnya, then by all means, play it. By all means. But if you want to play mono black, you're not going to be making that kind of stuff. You're going to be saving these. And again, this is a do as I say, not as I do. You know those gold packs that we just opened, right? Don't open them. Just continue to slodge through the RNG style growth that we are doing on our economies. And at the end of a set, that is when we should be opening these packs. I don't do that, especially whenever you're drafting. When you're drafting and opening packs, what are the chances that you run into a rare and you already have 4 rares of it? Because either you've crafted the cards or you've opened packs and they were in there. Those packs are meant to be after you get the 3,400 gems and move into buying packs. That's when you should be opening packs. Those gold packs, I would open the very last, and maybe even saving them till after rotation. I think that would be very powerful indeed, to just not open any of the gold packs and wait until rotation happens. Then you have a much tighter field of cards that you can actually get in those packs. Am I going to do that? No. But do I think that that is optimal? Yes, I do. Another thing, and again, I don't follow this either, is that we shouldn't be buying anything outside of these daily deals. Every once in a while, you see previous sets, cards from previous sets come in, and you could buy a pack from a previous set for a discount. Usually it is only 10%, but saving 10% of everything is actually pretty good. Now, I have been known to come over to this spot right here, go over to the earliest set. Remember, I'm a completionist. It is my own problem. I will deal with the consequences of that and buy these packs down here. I've done that. I think that there is a time to do that, but not when you're a brokey like me over here. Usually, every set you could get about 80,000 coins, 80,000 gold, and that could be used to quick draft the newest set, or it could be used to buy packs and get your gold packs from that set. Again, as you saw, I spent a lot of coins filming this video. You're welcome. But once you save that stuff, once you do all that, once you're happy with where the newest set is, then maybe start buying some of the historic stuff, maybe buying a previous standard set. It really depends on what you're going to be doing. But a lot of the times we want to save these for special occasions. It's really hard not to spend these on the newest, fanciest card, but sometimes for the better sakes of our economies, it is worth it to be as patient as humanly possible. So that is what I will be doing in the arena. I am going to break all of the rules I said in the last 2 or 3 minutes. I am going to be opening packs. I am going to be opening gold packs. I am going to probably draft more than I should, etc., etc., etc. I'm not going to worry about this tracker if it's good or bad. Usually I get it anyway because I'm a sucker for the cosmetics, and Wizards of the Coast knows how to make money. Oh boy. But all of the things that I said I would do if I was trying to be the most optimal with my economy. Thank you for joining today. Make sure you've liked and subscribed to the video. I do a lot of budget content here, as you've previously seen on the channel, or just taking a look over here. We have a lot of, like we upgrade the starter decks. We play budget decks all over the place on this channel. If you want to see budget content when it comes to Magic the Gathering, specifically Arena, join me, and we'll have a lot of fun. And hopefully you can learn a lot. Thank you for joining. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'm out of words. Bye.